Oh my goodness. I just got back from trying to go to Home Depot. So I went to Home Depot at 7 p.m. Friday night tonight. I needed to get some power strips for the truck because I only have like three total outlets in there, and the DirecTV satellite uses three outlets. So just the TV and then the DirecTV. So there's the TV requires power, then the DirecTV receiver requires power, and then the View something. What is it? What's the company? Um, oh crap! What was the name of the company? Epic View. Epic View is the company that does DirecTV for the trucking companies. So they have their own little box that's like glued to the top of the DirecTV receiver. That thing requires power. So those three require power. That's all three of the outlets I have in the truck. So I needed some power strips to give me more outlets. And I thought Home Depot would have a better selection than someplace like Walmart. So I went to Home Depot to do that and also to check and see if maybe they had more of these Clorox or Lysol wipes because this is my last damn bottle of them and I go through them like crazy on the truck. I was using them before this damn virus outbreak and I thought I had more of them stocked up than this, so I wasn't worried about buying more. And now you can't find them anywhere. They're just gone everywhere. So I went to Home Depot and I get there at 7 p.m. and there's somebody parked blocking the roadway in front of the entrance talking with a Home Depot employee that's washing the shopping carts. And he's just being a jackass about it. Like I'm sitting there trying to go past him and he sat there for like 5 minutes blocking the road talking to this Home Depot employee. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? If you would just pull forward like 5 feet, I'd be able to go by you. And no, he didn't. He was just a complete jackass in one of those F1 million trucks compensating for stuff. So, I backed up and pulled into another entrance into the parking lot. Got out of my car and I start to go in, and there was a couple right ahead of me that turned around at the entrance and started coming back. So I just kind of like so I kept walking, and then when I got close enough to them, I was like, "Are they closed?" And they said, "Yeah." I was like, "What are their hours that they're doing?" And they said they're closing at 6 for the foreseeable future. So Home Depot was closed. They have new hours where they're closing at 6 p.m. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I hopped in my car and I drove through that parking lot. It was a big shopping center complex. So I didn't even have to get out onto a road. I just drove down to Walmart, which is a few stores away. It was like there's the Home Depot, then there was a Sam's Club, then a Kohl's, and something, something, and then Walmart. And I just drove through the parking lot little roads to get to there. Get to Walmart, and I'm walking up to the door, and it said that they're closing at 8:30. They announced that they were closing their stores 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. nationwide, like a day or two ago. I don't know if nationwide they've changed their hours, or it's just a second, or if it's just the store right there next to my house. So, like I get in there at like 7:15, and they're closing at 8:30. Well, they started making announcements at like 7:30 that they were going to lock the front doors at something like 8 or something. They needed everybody out of there by 8, and they were going to be closed by 8:30 or something. I didn't really pay attention to what they were saying. I'm like, fuck it. I'm in there. I'm in here. You're going to check me out before I leave. You're going to have to run me out with security. Um, so I'm going around Walmart, and I'm like, well, since I'm already at Walmart, I need to get the power strips. I'll check and see if they have those wipes. I doubt it. Um, and then I'll go ahead and get some other things that I wanted to get at Walmart anyway. Like I wanted to get some pillows. I wanted to get a microwave. Now, since I didn't plan on going to Walmart, I didn't measure the dimensions in the truck for the microwave. So I just kind of guesstimated and I bought a microwave, and I just now went out to the truck after I got home, measured it. and it should fit. I was mainly worried about the width, and it fits on the width. And I thought I was good on the depth, but it looks like the depth might be cutting it a little close. Uh, so anyway, Home Depot is closed early. Walmart is closing even earlier than the hours they announced a few days ago. And Walmart was barren. They didn't have my damn wipes. That whole aisle was cleared. Um, there were things in the store. So, like canned goods, there were a decent amount of canned goods. There were a lot of canned goods that were gone, but there were a decent amount of canned goods. What was decimated was the like ramen noodles and macaroni and cheese. So, I what it is people are buying as much as they can and they don't have a ton of money. So they're trying to get the biggest bang for their buck. So buying cans of green beans aren't really high on their priority list. They're trying to get things that are filling on the cheap. So macaroni and cheese are really filling and they're really cheap. Ramen noodles, really filling, really cheap. These things must be the worst crap that is sold as far as ramen and cup noodles and microwavable noodles go. This must be the worst shit on the planet, because all that was left on that aisle was a box of these things, and I got all of them. I grabbed two of them, then I went over and I got the microwave. I browsed around the microwaves for about 30 minutes or so, and then I went and I looked at a couple other aisles. I came back like 45 minutes later after I initially went by this aisle and grabbed two of these, and the rest of them were still there. Approximately 7 of them. So I went ahead and grabbed those. So I got the last noodles that were on that row. And the world is ending. There's no food left except this, and people are choosing starvation. These things must be terrible. I can't wait to try them. Got like 9 of them. I don't know if there was if there were any macaroni and cheese left, there were very few. Toilet paper aisle, paper towels, every paper product that you wipe with was gone. Like the store was decimated. I didn't look at every single aisle, but just walking up and down the aisles, there were at least 3 times that I was sitting there looking up and down the aisle to check and see if this was since the aisles were completely empty, I wasn't even sure I was on the right aisle of where they stock these things. So I was trying to look for a sticker or something that told me that this is where they kept these things. Right? Is it another aisle I need to go look at? So I'm sitting there looking for this, and there's some other guy walks by and he just smiles and shakes his head, and I said, "It's crazy, man." And I did that at least with 3 different people on 3 different aisles where they were just like shaking their head laughing. I was like, the end is nigh. I mean, Jesus. I mean, there are people out there just hoarding the hell out of shit, and like me, I can't go do normal shopping. It's crazy times. Luckily, I do have some food products on hand. These 9 cups of noodles are not the only food I have in my house. I am a little bit of a prepper, so like I have some food that lasts for a while. But damn, it's getting crazy out there. And like you driving by restaurants and stores and stuff, most of them are closed. And the ones that aren't closed are running on very minimal staffing. Like, I went to Arby's today at like 11 a.m. or something. There must have only been 1 or 2 people working in that store. They were taking, orders basically one at a time. And the guy was running his ass off. I don't know if he was the only one. I think I only saw 1 pickup truck in the parking lot. There might have only been 1 or 2 people running that whole store. It's just crazy out there. There are a lot of people that are refusing to go to work right now for fear of catching it. So the businesses that are open, a lot of them are running on limited staffing. Walmart didn't seem to have that problem. I saw Walmart employees all over the place. They're probably doing mandatory overtime and all kinds of craziness right now. But that place was packed. If they want to get this, if they're serious about containing this virus thing and keeping social distances and shit like that, they have got to do something about the Walmarts of the world. These places where people are going to buy their stuff. These places are packed with people. There's like people everywhere. The parking lot was full. There were employees everywhere. There were customers everywhere. There was just people on top of people in this place. So I don't care what measures they're taking right now to try to limit the exposure. If they don't do something about these damn grocery stores, then we're just going to spread it all at the grocery store and bring it back to our homes that we're quarantining or isolating in. There's no isolation in these stores. They have to do something about distributing food better. Like they have to do something like everyone's going to have to do the Walmart pickup, where you don't go in the store and browse goods. You just sit in your car. They shop for you and they bring the crap out. They've got to do something like that. We can't just have people like if they're serious. Like this is what fucking irritates me with the government is I've worked for the government before, and most of what they do is just for public appearance. They're just doing what they think they need to do to get, public support, so they get voted into office again, or they get, whatever. It's all just for show. And that's what this appears to be, is just for show. Because they're telling everybody to stay home from work and all the rest of this bullshit, but we're still like in this, it's, these grocery stores are no different than like a concert or, partying at the beach down in Florida. They're flipping out about people partying at the beach in Florida. Well, every grocery store in the country is like a beach party right now. So they're doing all this bullshit to save face, just like the Chinese. The Chinese are big about saving face, which is why they didn't want this called the Wuhan virus, which is what I'm going to call it from now on, the Wuhan virus. Fuck them. It's getting crazy out there. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. They're talking a minimum 18 months. All the recommendations that they're getting from doctors and whatever the specialty is for viruses is that they must maintain very strict quarantine measures, social distancing, very strict social distancing that people actually adhere to until a vaccine comes out. And they're estimating that a vaccine is going to take at least 18 months. If they ever relax the social distancing or the quarantine or the lockdown, whatever you want to call it, then the virus will run rampant. And what we have right now, the virus will run rampant. People are just running all over each other, panic buying right now. The panic buying is causing all of the people to spread the virus like crazy. I wouldn't be like surprised if a quarter of the population doesn't have the virus right now. I think that I might possibly have already had it, and I had a mild version of it, because like I have a dry cough right now, and I don't have a runny nose or a sore throat or anything. I just have a dry cough. I feel like there's something in my chest that I can't cough up. So I might have coronavirus, but I don't know how in the hell to be tested for it. Because I have a very unproductive cough, which is one of the symptoms of the coronavirus. Is basically there's something in your chest that you can't cough up. I've just thought that maybe I was getting over being sick when I first got on the truck, and I didn't have a fever, but I had a congestion and I had a sore throat. I lost my voice for a few days, and I've been recovering from that ever since then. I don't know. Maybe I had a mild version of the coronavirus, but I think that it's running rampant right now. And I think a lot of people have it. I think if they were to test every single person in the United States for coronavirus, the number of people that have it would be astronomical. I wouldn't be surprised if there were millions of people that have it right now. As contagious as it is, the R naught value is got to be up there close to what measles is if it can stay airborne for like 3 hours or something. I can't remember how many hours measles can stay airborne for, but I want to say it's very similar to the coronavirus. And measles is the most contagious thing that we know of, and coronavirus is up there with measles on how well it can survive in air or on surfaces. So it is incredibly contagious. I haven't seen an R naught value since they said it's airborne. Since they at first they thought that it could only be transferred with bodily fluids. So if somebody like coughed or sneezed on you and you got it in your eye, you like wiped your eye after you got some saliva from somebody. That's how they thought it was transmitted. Now they pretty much confirmed that it's just straight up airborne. It can float in the air for a couple hours. If somebody were to cough, then that air they coughed in is contagious for a couple hours. Imagine that at some place like Walmart. Somebody coughs in, the stir fry Korean barbecue aisle, because that's all that's left. That's the new aisle name. Somebody coughs in that aisle, and you have 100 people walk through that aisle, and I don't know how many minutes, or in the like 3 hours that it sits there in the air, how many people walk through that and breathe that in? That is insanely contagious. One person walking around a Walmart coughing could spread this to thousands of people. And those thousands of people can spread it to thousands of others. You can have one person coughing at a Walmart that has community spread up in the millions. This is like something out of a movie. So, yeah, damn, it's crazy town out there. It's crazy town out there. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to try and hit up Walmart real early in the morning tomorrow to see if I can't um, get there while they still have some stuff in stock. Oh, one of the truck drivers I follow that works for USA Truck like me, he said he delivered to Clorox, or I think it's Procter and Gamble that makes Clorox. I don't know what the company is behind Clorox, but he was able to score some of these Clorox wipes because he delivered to the company that makes them. I don't know if he actually did a delivery of them. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll do a delivery of these damn wipes and I'll be able to get some. But damn, it's crazy out there. If you're watching this, don't get crazy with the hoarding. Don't go and buy 10 years worth of toilet paper. But I highly recommend that you prepare for what they're talking about right now of 15 to 30 days of self-isolation. It's highly likely that in the near future we could see the military like distributing MREs door to door, and we're forced to stay in our homes. Now, I might be excluded from that because I'm in the transportation industry. Healthcare workers, truck drivers, people like that are kind of necessary may possibly not have to follow that self-isolation. But if they have the military take over those things, the military starts running the hospitals, the military starts doing transportation of goods, because military has truck drivers. If the military starts doing stuff like that, then they're going to have a lot more control over the people if they have the military do everything. But there's a tremendous amount of military. I mean, there's something like 3 million truck drivers. There's a lot more truck drivers than there are military. So I don't know if the military could take over the transportation industry, and I don't know that they could fully take over the healthcare. I think they're most likely Sorry, the talking tickles my throat. I've been trying to pause when I cough. I think they're mainly just going to try to supplement. They're going to help out healthcare. They're going to help out transportation. Um, I don't know what's happening, but the conspiracy theory right now, which almost everything that's happened right now was a conspiracy theory a month ago. Um, the conspiracy theory right now is people are seeing a lot of military movement, which part of that is not. It's not a secret. They've announced that they've mobilized National Guard, and they've announced that like they're using the military to supplement healthcare and stuff like that. There's a couple of hospital ships that have been deployed. I think one was deployed to New York. I don't know where the other one was deployed. But I saw a Humvee convoy. Um, where the hell was I at when I saw that? I can't remember. I think I was on my way from Denver to going through Kansas and then Muskogee and then Van Buren. Somewhere along that route, I remember seeing it wasn't a big convoy. It was probably like 15, 20 Humvees and then a couple of weird looking trucks that were missing cargo. What they look like were those trucks that you pull up to and you pick up those big dumpsters. They have that thing on the back of it that lifts up like this, and they put it underneath the dumpster and they winch the dumpster up onto it. It looked like a couple of those, but they didn't have any dumpsters on them. Um, but other people are talking about seeing a lot of military vehicles being transported around the country. But the National Guard is no secret being used in a lot. It was just New York in Rochester or New Rochelle. I think it was New Rochelle. New York was the first place I heard of the National Guard being used to help with quarantine. But I've heard a lot of other places. So military mobilization is happening right now, and they're seriously talking about like a full lockdown, like a China style lockdown, like an Italy style lockdown. Italy and China had extreme lockdowns where you were not allowed to leave except to go to the store, and only one person from your household could go to the store once every, I forget how many days. And Italy enforced that with they made you fill out a form to leave your house. I don't know how China enforced it, but China has a lot of surveillance stuff. They use facial recognition to track people and all kinds of stuff. So they may not have needed to do a form. They may be able to just track people. But it's crazy town out there. If you have the means and the capability to get a little something to hold out for a couple weeks, then I suggest that you don't live on day-to-day supplies right now, because on any given day you may not be able to get supplies because so many people are panic buying and hoarding. It's just crazy out there. There was somebody that walked away from their cart and they had toilet paper in their cart at Walmart. And I was like, I cannot believe somebody has not snagged that toilet paper out of that person's cart. We haven't gotten to that point yet. We're getting really, really close. And in places like New York, that toilet paper might have gotten swiped, not swapped, swiped. So it's getting crazy town out there. Anyway, good luck. I hope nothing happens to anybody, and I hope all this is way like blown out of proportion. I hope that everything's back to normal in a week. I don't think that's going to be the case, but I hope that this doesn't have as much impact on everyone's everyday lives as I think it's going to. So, wish everyone the best.